A priest, a professor, and a rights activist went together into a bar. You think they're different? They're not. They're exactly the same. What am I trying to say, and how is this a bad joke? Tap in. The priest and the activist, or any other activist for that reason, whether it's a women's rights activist, men's rights activist, any activist for that reason, and the professor that is telling you that reproduction is cruel and that we cannot have any more children, or that life is all about suffering and whatever it is, they are all the same. What do I mean by they are all the same? Some moral attributes and values are not ideas to debate on, but they are symptoms of the wrongdoings of society. Not everything needs to be debated on. Ideas such as don't make any more children, ideas as pleasure and having fun and having sex is a sin, ideas of keep yourself safe from every littering possible and don't try to eat a lot of meat or do things that are basic human needs simply because they are ruining the planet. This is not a moral attribute. This is a symptom of a disease. Those are people who are telling you not to reproduce. They are not moral standards of, oh my God, how can you make kids? This is so wrong. You are ruining their lives. How can you be so selfish? Blah, blah, blah. No. They are telling you that they don't want you to reproduce because they are depressed from their own existence, so they are trying to mirror it into the idea of not having kids. This is not from a way of, oh my God, I'm moral. Those priests who are telling you not to have a physical pleasure and having sex, they are not trying to be moral in order for the God to love them. They just cannot enjoy the touch of a woman and they cannot enjoy pleasure themselves. So they are mirroring it to you by telling you don't have those and those and those. Those activists who are saying that it's wrong to litter, it's wrong to eat food, it's wrong to kill cows, whatever it is, it's not because they are moral and they are taking care of the planet and they're very sensitive people. It's because they cannot enjoy those things themselves and they always think about what am I doing wrong and being the victim, so they mirror it as a way of, oh, I'm a good person, I'm moral, I'm blah, blah, blah. Of course, you can come and say that this is true for any other value, as in the end of the day, our morals and our ideas are simply coming from us living the life as we live it and then mirroring those values into the existence. Sure. But that's not the thing that we're talking about here. The thing that we're talking about is that those extreme ideas of don't have kids, don't do those things, they are declining life. They are basically saying no to life and getting away from it by their own suffering and their own misenjoyment. And as a guy who is a very, very close friend of a guy who's declining having more kids, I can surely say that those people are not happy at all. Same thing with vegans. They are not happy people. They are telling you to be vegans because they are declining life in themselves. So they are pushing it and mirroring it into the outside world. This is very, very, very dangerous thing, and we must know how to take a look at those things. Why? Because if we will not know how to take a look at those things, and we will not know when and how to understand that sometimes we are preachers of death, and sometimes we're just having moral ideas, we will simply create a society where every moral and every attribute and every philosophical idea is accepted. If we create a society where every philosophical idea is justified and well-mannered and well-talked and things can be go through and not declined immediately because those ideas are just the declination of life itself, we will create a society where being a Nazi and being a fascist or whatever it is also welcomed. Do not let those people affect the free will of talking and the free will of giving opinions, because these are not opinions. These are declining the life itself by putting into a value and a moral. Those are the preachers of death. This is how Nietzsche calls them, the preachers of death. Those are people who are declining life, so they are giving it a value. And me, for instance, also a preacher of death for Nietzsche, right? Because I'm a workaholic. I love working. I love making money. I love working. I always think about how can I make more, how can I work more, how can I be more productive. And on its own, and I completely understand it and I'm trying to work on it, is a declination of life. Because me working does not have from a way of, oh my God, work is perfect, it's very important to work in order to improve your life. No. Like the Nazis said, work is liberating. Liberating from what? Liberating from the life. But why will you want to liberate from your life? Because you think life is suffering, right? I think that life is suffering in some way of myself. So I'm pushing it towards my work and saying that work is good and who doesn't work is lazy, because I'm forcing myself to give a value to the preaching of life is suffering. By me saying that work is good, I'm declining life. That way I'm creating a way of like giving value to the declination of life. Take a good look at yourself. Look closely. Try to see if you are declining life yourself. If you figure out that you do decline life, try to look at the values that you're attributing to the idea of you declining life. If you can figure out what are those ideas that you are using in order to decline life, do everything that you possibly can in order to get first rid of the thought itself and only then get rid of the value, right? Because we want to get rid of the root before we get rid of the tree. And the most important value, or the message, take a look at other people. If you see that some ideas are infiltrating into your life that are declining life and complaining against the existence of life, push them out. Do not let them be regular philosophies and regular ideas. It's like saying that being poor is a romantic thing. That was something that my father will be very agreed on. Being poor is not romantic. There is nothing fun in being poor. There is nothing justified or romantic or enjoyable in being poor. All of those poor people who are claiming that being poor is a good thing, or those rich men who are saying that being poor is a good or romantic thing, either masking you to become poor and therefore gain the wealth from themselves, if you're a conspiracy theorist, or, which is much more makes sense for me, they hate the idea of having power and wealth, so they are mirroring it into the idea of being poor is romantic and is a better moral statue. No, being poor is wrong. Don't try to become poor. Do everything you can in order to become rich or not. It's not the point. The point is that don't take those values because they are declining life. Same with veganism, same with taking care of the planet, same with being poor, same as rejecting pleasures. Don't decline life and then give it a value. Live life to its fullest in every essence of it and live the values that are justifying life and making life better, not declining it. I hope this makes sense. If it doesn't, please comment in the comments below. Those videos are getting very difficult for me and I need to work on them much more because those philosophical ideas are getting much more complex by each time and I'm trying to fill in the void, but sometimes it doesn't work. Hope you guys enjoyed and I promise to try and always be better for you so you can deeply understand it. Again, thank you guys for watching.